Hey friends, it is Susan from legslikeMine.com, and guess what? Today is June 1st, and June is Lipedema Awareness Month. Now, if you've been following me for very long, excuse me, you know that I have been sharing information about my own lipedema journey for 5 years now, and I've done a really good job of sharing information within the lipedema community. I've written a bunch of books about lipedema, aquatherapy for lipedema, jeans on a beach day, empowered legs, just all kinds of books, right? Um, but up until this last year, whenever we started the American Lipedema Association, my content was really focused on sharing information to people who thought they had lipedema or people who knew they had lipedema. And we've got a lot of people inside the choir now who are, excuse me, who are sharing information about their own journeys and stuff like that. So this year, because I'm the president of the American Lipedema Association, and my goal now is to raise awareness about the condition and about the impact it has on people's lives, the prevalence, 11% of women in the world, y'all. That is millions and millions and millions of people. And they wait an average of 7 years from the display of symptoms when they start talking to their doctors to when they finally figure out what their diagnosis is. And that is 7 years too long of letting the condition progress, of mental health challenges, disordered eating, all kinds of stuff that happens whenever you have no clue that there are different ways to control your body and things that you need to let go about your body too. So, um, this year, I'm going to be raising awareness outside of our inner lipedema circles and really trying to reach out to medical groups, doctors, other people who have the condition don't even know or suspect that it's a thing, right? So this is going to be the first video of 30, and it's going to be probably a little bit longer than you're used to. So the first thing I want to share with you is, of course, what is lipedema? So lipedema is a connective tissue disorder. It's called the painful fat disease, a lot of us call it. And it presents symmetrically, usually in the legs, but also in the arms, right? Sadly, and the buttocks, the belly sometimes, different body parts. And it presents symmetrically. It's painful. A lot of women who get it have easy bruising. Oh my gosh, I had so much easy bruising on my legs. I would always have what I called mystery bruises and not know what was going on. Fatigue is another symptom of it. And a big one with me is nodules, and especially in my legs, even in my arms, I can feel them. And if you looked closely, you could see like the presence of larger fat cells in my arms. And by the way, I've had surgery on my arms already. And then I hit perimenopause and they started growing like crazy. And the sad part about it is I exercise regularly, right? And so this is, I mean, you can tell I've got some muscle in there too, but look, I've also got the bat wing going on. And guess what? That is part of lipedema. And after I get through the hell I like to call menopause, I'll probably go get my arms done again because I'm hoping that they won't keep growing after menopause is over. So anyway, that's some of the symptoms of lipedema. So I'm going to say it again. It's symmetrical fat buildup in weird deposited places, usually the legs, the arms, the buttocks, the belly. A lot of us have a B shape, and I'm actually going to stand up and show you what my body looks like because I haven't had any work done on my belly. And so I still have that B, and I probably always will because I'm too big of a chicken to have a tummy tuck. But I'm going to show you. So, doctors, this is really for you. If you have a patient that comes in and they're saying, hey, I'm fatigued, I've got easy bruising, I cannot lose weight no matter what I try, it's resistant to diet and exercise. Oh, also, I've got that B shape. Check this out. I'm going to show you my B. my badonkadonk, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, look at this. So you see here, and I'm going to push in on my swimsuits. There's a little bit of a letter B when you look at me from the side. And I'll come back down here to the microphone so that you can hear me better. But we've got that B shape when you look at us from the side. Also, fat pads on the medial parts of the knees, and that can impact our mobility. And that is so serious because that's what I'm experiencing now with regrowth. I've had 3 surgeries on my legs, and the fat pads build up on the inside of the legs. For me personally, I have nodules that are the size of golf balls that have now regrown since surgery. Thank you, hormones. Um, and those fat pads push out on the knee joints like this. And then next thing you know, you see people walking around like me who our legs are shaped like an upside down Y because the bottom of our legs is actually changing due to the pressure on our joints. And then guess what happens? Hips start slipping out of joint because we've got, thick tissue on the inside of our thighs. And so it really can impact people's mobility. It's so, so important that people get diagnosed early so that they can get compression. They can start doing an exercise program that works for them. They can start understanding and not feeling terrible about themselves because they're trying, like me, I've had bariatric surgery twice, right? And I still have all these issues. So that's a little bit about lipedema, and I wanted to share with you too. So, while I am the president of the American Lipedema Association, which is a nonprofit advocacy group, we are big partners with the Lipedema Foundation, and the Lipedema Foundation is awesome. They have all kinds of materials that are out on the internet. They're at lipedema.org, and they have a little brochure that you can take. And I actually have like 100 of them here in my office because I take them to every single doctor's appointment. And I also uploaded the PDF of this document to my patient portal with all of my doctors, including my dentist, because believe it or not, I actually have rice sized nodules inside my mouth tissue, which is crazy, but I do. What can you say? Anyway, so this is a great resource. It tells a little bit about lipedema, what the treatments are, what the treatment goals are, that sort of thing. And pretty soon, the American Lipedema Association will have our own pamphlets as well. But the Lipedema Foundation, they are the OG. They know what's up. So, get this information. Lipedema.org is their website. So there is information out there that you can give to your doctors. A lot of doctors don't recognize it because they weren't trained about it in medical school, and that's something that we're working to change. So that's about lipedema. Now, because I have been doing Lipedema Awareness Month and the Lipedema Triathlon for years now, I'm trying a different challenge. And the first thing I want to say to you is this is what I'm doing. I am in a really good headspace right now. And I've been working on this and thinking about what I wanted to do for a while. I wanted to do something a little bit bigger, um, because the Lipedema Triathlon is not an official activity this year. And so I'm kind of doing my own thing to definitely raise awareness, but also to honor Patty Cornute, who passed away sadly this year and who was the chair of the Lipedema Triathlon. So, what I am doing is for me, and again, I'm in my own headspace. So, my husband and I have been, what we've been doing, and I'm just being straightforward because it's my rules, my life. I am addicted to sugar. A few years ago, in fact, I wrote a book called Sugar Mamas, where a bunch of us lipedema ladies got together and we got off of sugar, and we worked with Marty Klein, who's a health and fitness coach, lifestyle coach. And we learned how to deal with our sugar cravings and how it impacted our bodies. And then we also learned some self acceptance and love and grace and how to deal with our mental health issues associated with the guilt of eating sugar. And it really helped. So, again, I'm on my own journey, but the rules of my no sugar are we're not eating stuff like brownies, cakes, cookies, pastries, ice cream, but and candy. Oh my gosh, candy. What we do in our house now, because we're still sort of weaning off of things, is we will do a sugar free dessert. I do sugar free Cool Whip with my cottage cheese, that kind of thing. And that so the sugar is one of my rules for myself. I still drink pop, but I'm going to tell you about my drinks here in a second. So the sugar is a huge one, and I find now that even when I eat fruit, which I do, it tastes incredibly sweet. So something has changed in my palate from 2 months of not eating like sometimes for us 3 times a day is what we were doing. Like we would stop at the like 7-Eleven or whatever while we're just out doing our thing and get a candy, and maybe later on we would get an ice cream. And I mean, it was just like um free for all. So to make that stop now, I would say for us, like we'll keep sugar free frozen something like popsicles or fudgesicles in the fridge. freezer, and every now and then we'll go for a scoop of sugar-free ice cream, but it is not the norm for us anymore. Um, and I still put like Splenda and stuff like that in my coffee, and that's just who I'm gonna be. And I'm kind of coming to terms with like this is the balance that I need in my life to be able to make this work. So anyway, we've been sugar free, sugar reduced now for 2 months, so that's something I want to continue. From the food perspective, I'm not doing a diet. I've done all the crazy diets in my life. I did keto after I had lap band. I did it for a full year, like not one bite of bread, rice, pasta, potato chips, french fries, nothing. And at the end of that year, I was like, this isn't how I want to live. It's not how I want to live. Life is for living, and you can't be happy without being able to eat a sandwich or something occasionally. So that's not for me. I'm just saying, you do what you want to do. Doctors, you can bash me, whatever, but I know what works for me. And yeah, I lose a ton of weight on keto, but I am a miserable bitch, if you know what I mean. And nobody wants that. So the only rule I have besides the sugar, which it's for me, it's just a continued thing at this point. I'm striving to get 100 grams of protein a day. That's it. That's the only rule I'm striving to. And I'm trying to do it with food by eating eggs, meat, cheese, cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. I can knock out a bunch of protein that way. Um, but if I don't hit my 100-gram goal, then I will resort to having a low sugar protein something shake or something like that, right? So I need to go procure that. Today, I'll hit my protein goal because it's a Sunday and I've got food planned that involves a lot of meat. So the other reason why I am trying to make sure that I eat meat and stuff like that is because I did do 5 years of vegetarianism, and unfortunately, right before I had my surgeries for lipedema, and I got myself into a position where I was pretty anemic, and so now I take an iron pill every day. Probably gonna up that also over the course of this month because I just had blood work done and my iron is still low despite taking an iron pill every day. So that's something that I'm looking into. Okay, so that's basically the food. So here are the rules of the Susan O'Hara challenge. Nobody else, I'm not telling you to do this, nothing, because I believe that I can actually do this. I've kind of been doing this, but there are a couple of things that I'm working on, and I'm just going to walk through it. So the first one is movement. And oh, by the way, I based my challenge off of a challenge that's a little bit too much for me called 75 hard. So this is 30 Susan's way. I don't know. It's the Lipedema Awareness Challenge is what I'm calling it. Okay, here it is. Movement, 30 minutes a day, which I do every day now anyway because I'm in that pool all summer long. I love the water. I've got a pool in the backyard. I'm wearing my bathing suit now because guess where I'm heading after this. Um, 30 minutes a day with 3 times a week additional resistance training. And that is relatively new to me. And I'm going to say relatively because I keep weights, 3 different levels of weights in my office. I have a vibration plate under my desk right now, which does not count for any of this because I use my vibration plate I'm addicted to it. It feels so good, right? But um, I have been starting this last couple of weeks using my arm weights, and but I've been kind of sporadic about it. Like one day I did them pretty, one week I did it pretty faithfully every few days, and last week I only did it a couple of times. And so this week, Rob, my husband, and I have agreed that on Tuesdays and Thursdays before I go to school, because I'm working on my MBA in the evenings, that we're going to set a date during his lunch hour to go to the gym and do the actual weight machines. And I'm terrified. Um, I have my one of my very best friends is a physical therapist, and she's given me some guidance about watching out for leg extensions because my knees are so messed up and ready for knee replacements. But my goal is to get into a better habit and to strengthen my body so that I can be in better shape for total knee replacement or maybe prolonged total knee replacement, which would be freaking awesome. So, movement 30 minutes a day. I'm actually going to do a few different things too. I've got some plans. So, I am going to do the arm weights here. I have a new set of water weights coming in the mail because The old ones that I have, I keep outside in a pool box, and June bugs got into them, and it's so gross. I'm just going to throw them away. um, but other kinds of resistance training I'm going to do, and I will show you. I have a little bag here that came with my Life Pro vibration waiver, not a plug or anything because everybody uses them, but it came with a bunch of different resistance bands. And so I've been watching this crazy guy on YouTube, and I'll see if I can show you. He sort of is like making fun of people who have different body things, but then he gives good exercises to do them too. He's like, hey, if you got, I'm going to just be kind of crass here for a second. If you got a big butt, you might want to do these exercises. Or if you have a low hanging belly, you might want to do these exercises. Anyway, I have all the tools I need right here. And honest to God, you guys, I have had these here. I'm going to pull these out so I'm not talking over it. Okay. And then I'll set this down. I have had these bands for several years, and you see, like this kind. And again, I'm not selling these, but this kind has like a really thick band, a wide band, which I have learned is really good for people who have lipedema because our legs are super sensitive. So if I'm doing like clamshells where I'm laying on my side, and I'll show you these over the course of this month, I don't want that band to dig into my leg and hurt. So these are really good for anything that's going to go around the leg parts, right? And then I have these other ones that they're good for ankles and arms and stuff like that, right? Like, Um, so I'm going to be doing some band exercises. I'm going to be doing some chair yoga and showing how I modify my yoga moves because my knees don't need to be doing lunges. That's a really, especially like in on ground. I can do lunges in the water just fine. But anyway, I'm going to be showing a bunch of different things that I'm doing for exercise in hopes that for those of you who do have lipedema and who are in all kinds of shape from bedbound to at my shape, which just for to be totally like sharing where I'm at right now, I'm 5'9". I'm a big person. And I weighed this morning 337, I think. And that was after I had like morning water and stuff like that. So that's where I'm starting. This isn't a weight loss journey. Because if other than my knees and like my actual health, I am okay with who I am. Like I look pretty good in clothes. I know how to dress myself. I know how to wear makeup and do my hair and all that stuff. But it's really about health at this point in my life and mobility. And I'm going to recommend a couple of things as I go through the course of this. And I want you all, if you have time and you're listening to podcasts, there's a podcast that I listened to 2 days last week when I was in the pool with Mel Robbins. My gosh, she's such a good podcaster, you guys. And it feels like she's just your friend, right? So, anyway, Mel Robbins was interviewing an orthopedic surgeon named Vonda Wright, Dr. Vonda Wright, and they were talking about the importance of exercise at any age. And it's never too late to start exercising. And she was talking about how she has patients come in and she's like, they're making all kinds of excuses. And she's like, you can't out excuse me. Move. Movement is medicine. If you want to stay mobile, move. So wherever you are, let's meet you there and let's figure out a movement plan, right? I would love to hear what you're doing. In fact, you can feel free to comment or send me an email at legslikemine@gmail.com. I'd love to know what you're doing. So movement is a big deal to me because it's something that I'm on the cusp of getting a good habit, but I'm also like when you're on the fence, you could go one way or the other. And because I'm starting my MBA program on Tuesday, today's Sunday, things could go south, right? And I don't want that to happen. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this challenge is like, get it together, have a checklist, be accountable. There's no punishment. I'm going to mess up on some of this stuff, but I've decided, and thank you, Marty Klein, for this, to take this approach like, hey, all right, I didn't hit my goal today. What did I learn? What can I adjust so that I hit my goal on another day that has a situation like this, right? That's it. That's it. And same thing with food, movement, whatever. If you miss it, okay, what can I do better next time? It doesn't mean, oh, I can never try again or, oh, I'm a failure. No, just start, pick it back up. Okay, so movement, we've got that. I'm going to cover that one again. 30 minutes a day with 3 times a week of additional resistance training. For me, I'm doing weights, the stretchy bands. I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to do some chair yoga. I'm going to show you all the exercises that I'm doing because I want you to, maybe there's something you can pick up, or please don't do this. Please don't judge me. I'm learning and I am trying to follow stuff on the internet. But if you say, like, hey, Susan, you're about to hurt yourself, okay, that's fine. You can tell me, but I don't want to hear about it. Yes, I know I'm overweight, whatever. Okay. Okay. So the next one is kind of interesting. And this comes from the 75 Hard program. And I love this. Read 10 pages a day of a nonfiction book. Their rules say that they want you to hold a tactile book, no e-readers, blah, 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 blah. I'm not an e-reader. I'm a book person anyway. And yesterday I went to the library and I got the new Melinda Gates book. And my intention was to read 10 pages of it. And I got so into it. It was a good read. I read the whole stinking thing. So I am good tonight. Whenever I do my closeout video, I'll tell you what I read. I've got one more book checked out right now that is about brain and trusting your brain and your instinct and stuff like that. I love nonfiction, so this is not a challenge for me. Like, they know me at the library. I'm the girl who comes in and checks out 10 books a time. I've been this way for years, right? So it's an enjoyable, but some days I forget because I'm just doing other stuff. And so I like it that I'm like, hey, I'm committed to 10 pages a day. If you do this, something like this challenge, um, I don't, it's not my rules. If you want to listen to an ebook, listen to an ebook, you know? I think the point of it is spend some of your downtime doing things besides doom scrolling on social media, right? So that's, and feeding your brain like with positive things instead of crap that's on the internet. Here we are on the internet together, by the way. All right. Number 3, drink 90 ounces of water a day. Okay. So just to share, to compare, um, 75 Hard, they want you drinking a gallon of water a day. That's too much for me. I'm miserable. And plus, I also drink coffee. I also drink diet pop. And so replacing a lot of the diet pop with water is a really good thing. And so here, this is what I'm using today. I'm not selling these. I'm in Oklahoma and we love our Buc-ee's when we go down to Texas. So this is a 32-ounce cup. I'm going to drink 3 of these a day, or 3 of my Nalgene bottles a day, which I carry around in my car all the time. So cheers. Let's have a little drink. I love water. Makes me feel so good. Okay. We already talked about the nutrition. For me, my rules, I'm avoiding sweets and I'm getting 100 grams of protein a day. That is it. I hate weight loss programs that make me feel bad about myself. That's what I need right now, 100 grams of protein a day. All right. Now, the next one, this is all me. This didn't come from anybody, but I have been struggling with breakouts really bad. And I know it's because of hormonal changes. I'm 50, almost 52 this month. And so I just got on this program. I'm not selling anything because this is not for anybody else, but I went to a dermatologist and she's like, girl, do you know you have rosacea? And I was like, oh, I thought that was just mast cell activation syndrome. And she's like, no, you have rosacea. And so we've been working kind of on, like, I've been getting facials and stuff like that. But I started finally found a face cleanser and system that works for me. I got it at Ulta. And anyway, so 2 things that she told me, she was like, girl, you need to moisturize your skin and you need to be wearing sunscreen. So for me, and again, this is embarrassing to tell you guys, but I have had terrible skincare habits over the course of my life. Like, I don't even haven't I in the past, the old Susan didn't wash her face every morning and every night. Like, I would, I'd take a shower and stuff like that, but that would be it. And usually went to bed with my makeup on. Wonder why my skin is bad, right? So anyway, I have started this thing where I'm washing my face 2 times a day and I am moisturizing and I'm using tinted sunscreen. And you can tell, like, I've been sunscreening like a maniac, right? And I've definitely got some color going on. Ooh, I just tore my, that's not good. Anyway, so moisturizing, I'm not even showing you the brand really because I'm not selling it, but that's what I'm using. It's this La Roche-Posay stuff, and it is for people who have like super, super duper sensitive skin. And so that's what I'm using. And I also, I mean, like, because I have this rosacea, I've got all kinds of creams and stuff that I have to use. I already put that on this morning, but so I thought I'd just do that with you all. And check this out. If you follow my videos, you know that I did a video a while ago about how to do lymphatic massage on your face. And so I thought, hey, this is a good time to kind of pick that back up because we have lymph nodes like back here and here and here And then here in the carotid area, we have them too. So I thought, hey, I'm just gonna put on my moisturizer with you guys this morning. It's a little accountability, but also it's a good way to get a little bit of lymphatic drainage in my body for a good start to the day. So that's the moisturizer, right? So now this is so much. I can't believe people do this with their skin. Every day they do this stuff. Like people take care of themselves. It's crazy. So anyway, this for me is like a big treat. And I remember April Sluter, who she does the Lipedema Journey on Facebook. She has all these, she's always doing reset programs and stuff like that about mental health. And there were times when she would ask, hey, what are you doing for yourself today? And I would be like, I washed my face. I know that sounds crazy, but there are days when you're like, all I feel like I can do for myself is wash my face and drink my water. And that's what I did. Oh, that feels so good to have. I think my skin is hungry for it, y'all. All right. So those are 5 of my things. I have 2 more. One, because I did this when I was writing the aquatherapy book. I would measure my legs before I got in the pool, and then I would go swim for an hour, and then I would measure my legs after I got out of the pool. And sure enough, there was a difference because it was really squeezing a lot of fluid out of my body just from the hydrostatic pressure, right? So anyway, I am going to be taking my leg measurements in 3 places, and this isn't for the purpose of trying to see if I'm losing inches or whatever. Just kind of trying to look and see if there's any impact. And there's so many variables in the stuff I'm doing right now. We can't point to one thing or the other, but I just want to make note of it. So I have a little measuring tape here today, and I'm going to be measuring in 3 places. I'm going to be doing my ankle at the smallest point. I'm going to be doing my calf at the thickest point, and I'm going to be doing my thigh at the thickest point. And I'm also going to weigh daily. And because my life is an open book, I'll probably share my weight with you every day. And especially if there's a change, I anticipate that with the amount of exercise I'm getting ready to take on, there'll be a gain, and then probably maybe a little bit of loss. But again, this isn't a weight loss thing. This is just an awareness thing, right? All right. And then my last thing is to share and post at least one photo or video of myself a day. And I set up a little area outside my daughter's bedroom where I'm gonna, before I go in for my swim every day, I'm gonna go and show you what I look like, and let's see if we can see any difference. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of put raw footage out there of that so that it's like there's no Photoshop, obviously, no photoshopping or anything like that. But also, it really helps so many people to see pictures of other women's bodies that are real, people who have lipedema, what it looks like to be 3 years post-op, realistic expectations, right? And maybe some impact of exercise. Like I'm guessing that if there are changes to my body in just 1 month, it'll be things that I notice and nobody else notices, other than the tan, which is happening anyway. But it'll be interesting to see if we notice any changes. So, and no rude comments are accepted or appreciated. But if we do see something that's changing, I'd love to know that too. So, um, today my workout is going to be a couple of things. I'm going to go for a little walk with my husband this afternoon. And I'm getting the pool just because I like to be in the pool too. But then I'm going to get that 30 minutes of resistance training in. And because today I want to learn more about how to use those stretchy bands, I'm going to be watching a video. And once I find the video, I'll link to it down below. I'll come back and add the link to it to share with you what I did. And I'll also videotape that as you see me trying to figure it out for myself as well. And we say 3 times a week of additional resistance training. I'm not adding a number to that. I'm doing like a series of exercises that they tell me would be good, and then we'll go from there. So that is my lipedema awareness challenge for the month. I'll put these things on the screen so that you can see them, and then be looking for me every freaking day for the month of June, which is going to be tough because I'm starting an MBA program and I'm going to a couple of conferences this month. All right. Happy June. I can't wait to see what you're doing. Share anything I have from Facebook, from social media, if it will help. And I can't wait to raise awareness with you this month. See you later.